attitude, mentality, and mindset. If you want to be an impactful personality, you have to develop certain types of thinking and perceptions that change the way you see yourself and see the world. It doesn't matter how big you are, how intelligent you are, or how many degrees you get. It's your mind that keeps you small. You don't need to be intelligent. You don't need to be smart. You don't need to have a certain height. You don't need to have a certain weight. You don't need to have any kind of advantage. The attitude is the difference. Attitude, intelligence, how you may seem to be or how much you don't have, it is the thinking of the person that makes them see circumstances differently. They are a-tude. People ask me how I'm doing, and my answer is, I have no problems. The word problem is a human definition of an opportunity to grow. If you call it a problem, it's a negative. If you see it as an opportunity, it becomes a positive. Ephesians reworked. Ready? Don't you laugh at the Bible. The word says, now unto him who is able to do exceedingly, abundantly above, far beyond all you can ever ask, think, or imagine according to the power that works within us. To him be glory. Attitude is a product of belief. You cannot have an attitude beyond your belief. So your attitude comes from your belief system. I remember sleeping on a mattress on the floor with mosquitoes all around me. Poverty surrounded me, but we didn't know it because everyone was poor. The only way you know you're poor is when you meet a rich person. Every opportunity was around me to think negatively, but I remember my mother and father would tell us things to fix our belief system. They would say, you can do anything you want to do. They said that when I was sleeping on the floor, they were working on my belief system, and then they taught us the Bible. Now, I don't know about you and your belief, but the Bible made me who I am today. Don't you talk bad about the Bible. If you don't believe in the Bible, that's okay. I'm doing just fine. Believe me. The Bible helped me become what I am, but it was that book that shaped my thinking. How do you think? Write this down. Attitude is a product of belief. No one can live beyond the limits of their belief. So if you want to live beyond what you're living now, you have to change your belief system. When you discover a new belief system, your life becomes what you think it should be. That's exactly what you are right now. You are what you thought you should be. But if you don't like who you are, you have to change what you think you should be. The secret to anyone rising is what happens in their belief system. No amount of training, management methods, or titles can substitute for the right attitude. You have to first change your perception of who you are and establish a belief system. Secondly, you must change your perception of why you think you exist. Number 3, your sense of significance. Once you discover, no matter where you are right now, it doesn't matter where you work or what situation you are in, your perception of who you are has to change. Most of our perceptions are based on other people's concepts of us, and therefore we don't have a self-concept, we have an other concept. What is your perception of who you are? And the second one, why do you think you exist? You have to discover that you were born for something, some reason, some purpose for your life. If you don't discover that, you'll always have a job and be buried in an average grave with an average tombstone. So they always tell you to go to school, get an education, so you can get a job. In other words, people are being taught to be employed, not deployed. They never say, stay in school so you can own a business. They don't even think that way. Discover that you are important to the human race. You are important to the world. You are important to your universe. When I had to grapple with that question, it was tough because I'd been taught by society, like you have, that you are just a social security number or some ID number or just a worker in the system, but that's not true. You were born to do something very significant in the world, and you have to get to the point where you believe that. You can have potential, but if you don't have the belief, the potential becomes a victim of your present belief. I have given you my secret to life right here. Belief is so powerful, it can make an elephant act like a sheep in the presence of a lion. Normally, people who are insecure, whenever they meet somebody who is confident, always call the confident arrogant. When you discover who you are, you can't help but be confident. I don't pretend. I don't try to have confidence. If you try, that means you don't have it. If you're faking it, confidence is a product of belief. What you believe about yourself determines what you think about yourself, and whatever you think about yourself is the way you behave. You behave bold and confident because there's something you've discovered about you and about life that makes life change. Your perception must be right. Then you must marry that to attributes. That means gifts you were born with. Then you must marry that to aptitude. That means you have to educate and train those gifts. That's why you read and study. You go to school for your aptitude to be increased, and then your altitude changes. That means you have to change the level of associations you are in. You know it's amazing when you change your aptitude. You normally want to change your altitude. So here's the thought to take back to work with you. If you keep running into pigeons and ducks and turkeys, you are flying too low. No one is responsible for your life except you. I had to take charge of my life as a teenager. At age 13, I discovered who I was. I became a problem to the whole family. My mom said to me, "You are a different boy, you are a different child." But something happened to me at age 13. I discovered myself. Different simply means you don't think like the rest of the kids. That's what it means. I remember thinking this belief system being exposed. Therefore, I married my attitude, attributes, and aptitude. My attitude changed. I started attracting different types of friends. A seed can be placed on a windowsill in your tiled bathroom and stay there for 50 years, and the tree never comes out, even though the seed has a tree inside. Trees are not in the soil, they're trapped in a seed. It is a victim of the environment. If you can just get that seed off that windowsill and put it in soil with a little bit of water, here comes the future. That's the way life is. You are no different from a seed. Every one of you that walks through that door today is a seed that was sent to the planet to produce a tree to serve the world with your fruit. That's why you were born. Some folks in your life right now are very toxic. They will pollute your seed. You'll never come out. Have you noticed that people going nowhere want you to go with them? Folks who've been doing nothing in life want you to do it with them. This is why you have to break away from your best friend sometimes to become better. Coming to a summit like this and sitting among people like this is fertilizer. This whole week is a seedbed, soil for you to put yourself in. Matter of fact, when you leave here, imagine you prepare yourself. You have to go back to those rocky people in your job. Even the music you listen to, you have to be careful. It can be poison to the germination of your seed. The next time someone says they want to get to know you, ask them, are you fertilizer or a rock? Music. You never receive greatness. You came with it. But your abundance that you were born with is trapped by the mentality that they gave you. This is why to be great, you have to divorce yourself from your traditions and your culture. Convention makes no room for creativity. It doesn't allow you to believe beyond the norm. Matter of fact, they want you to fit in, not stand out. The greatest revenge in life, they say, is success. It's not ability, it's mentality. If you want to change, you have to work on this attitude. The text says that when they went into the land to check it out, the land that was already theirs, according to the promise, they all came back and 10 of them told Moses that the land they saw had big giants in it. They also told Moses that we were like grasshoppers in their eyes. Now, they never talked to the giants to find out what the giants thought about them. You are the way you see yourself. If you think you're a grasshopper, you have to nurture yourself